Easter greetings to my friends in Christ in the Episcopal Church. My name is Charlie Holt, and I have the honor to have been elected Bishop Coadjutor in the Diocese of Florida. Several weeks ago, you received the Florida Standing Committee's request for consent to my election. Since then, I've heard from several bishops and standing committee members who have questions about my background, my beliefs, and my commitments. And I want to answer these questions as clearly as I can. As you may know, nearly a year ago during meet and greet sessions, I spoke about LGBTQ people in a way that was hurtful and offensive to many people, especially those who saw edited YouTube video clips that lacked the context of my full remarks. I regret deeply the pain that I caused. I've apologized publicly last spring as well as several times in private conversations, and I'm eager to meet with anyone I've harmed to make amends in whatever way that I can. But the best way that I can think of to make clear the kind of bishop that I will be is to make the following commitments. If I become the Bishop of the Diocese of Florida, I will fully comply with the spirit and the letter of General Convention Resolution B012 from 2018. Parishes and rectors that choose to offer same-sex marriages will be free to do so in accordance with the approved liturgies and canons of the Episcopal Church. Congregations that perform same-sex marriages will no longer be required to have delegated Episcopal Pastoral Oversight, or DEPO, and generous pastoral support will be provided to any clergy or congregation that may request it, in keeping with Resolution B012. In addition, when I take the vows of a bishop, I will be making a solemn promise to follow the non-discrimination canons of the Episcopal Church without reservation. I am committed to ensuring that LGBTQ people are loved and cared for and feel not only safe, but also cherished. In my episcopacy, LGBTQ people will have full and equal access to the discernment process and opportunities for lay and ordained ministry. I'm committed, without reservation, to being a sensitive pastor to all the people of the Diocese of Florida and to improving the relational health within the diocese. During last year's meet and greet sessions, I also spoke about race and racism in ways that did not reflect either my views or my work against systemic racism in response to the murder of Trayvon Martin in Sanford, Florida, back in 2012. Nothing in this long election process has pained me more than knowing that I spoke in a way that has made people question the commitment to racial reconciliation and racial justice that is so central to my life and ministry. I am sorry for the hurt that I caused, and I'm working hard to do better at talking about these painful and important issues. I've written an open letter to tell you more about my work with the Black community and pastors in Sanford during that time and the ways it has influenced my ministry ever since. That letter is going to be linked in the comments on this video, and I hope that you will read it and let me know if you would like to talk with me in greater detail about my commitment to becoming beloved community. As a native North Floridian, I have a deep love for and understanding of the various members and people located in the Diocese of Florida. I want to see them flourish. I want to see them build strong relationships with one another, even across political divisions and differences of opinions on key matters facing our church and the culture. I'm eager to lead and to serve them in this work. And with leadership support from the Standing Committee and the Diocesan Council, the diocese has already begun a listening and reconciliation process facilitated with the help of Bishop Mary Gray Reeves. I believe that this is an essential first step in the work that we can do together, and I will support it wholeheartedly if I become bishop, just as I'm supporting it now as a member of the current bishop's staff. Finally, I want to assure you unequivocally that I will not leave the Episcopal Church. Moreover, I do not believe that Episcopal bishops, clergy, or lay members have the legal or ecclesiastical ability or justification to alienate property that has been given for the use of the Episcopal Church and the Diocese of Florida. While individuals may certainly leave based on their own conscience, they cannot take physical or financial assets with them. I've taken that fiduciary responsibility seriously as a priest for 25 years, and I will abide by that responsibility as a bishop without exception. Like many of you, I lived through the pain of the schism during the early 2000s, which is still very much with us, especially in the Diocese of Florida. In those years, when many conservative clergy were leaving the Episcopal Church, I made the decision to stay. For me, it comes down to the high priestly prayer of Jesus for us, that all of them may be one. I never want to be responsible for violating the Lord's prayerful heart for His church. And like the people of the Diocese of Florida, I'm a loyal, faithful Episcopalian, and I'm committed to being fully engaged in the life of the Episcopal Church. I would be honored to meet with any of you to answer any of your questions or hear your concerns. Please reach out at your convenience, and thank you for your prayerful consideration of the request for consent to my election, and may God grant us all wisdom and peace during this Easter season.